Okay. I'll be waiting in a moment.
Hello everybody, my name is Tyler Valle of GamesNosh.com, and this is Onechanbara Z2 Chaos. Now our review code was graciously provided by 1PR, so thanks guys, you're awesome. This game was developed by Tamsoft and published by D3 in Japan, Marvelous in Europe, and Xseed over here in North America. Now on to the game. I'll be first to admit, I know nothing about this series, and my only other run-in with it was the fact that I picked up Onechanbara Bikini Samurai Squad at a local GameStop with my dad years ago and showed it to him saying, "Dad, I want this game." And him just staring at me with the "I have no son" look in his eyes. Onechanbara is the kind of game that'd be really hard to justify to people who aren't open-minded. Well, with the fact that girls are running around dressed like either gothic lolitas or in bikinis, if they're wearing clothes at all, killing zombies and demons in a story that's so loose and non-existent that I couldn't tell you a single part of it. But if you can get beneath the overt fan service that Onechanbara provides, you'll see that much like another franchise of their Tamsoft's belt, it's got a very solid foundation within its gameplay. Onechanbara's frame rate sits at 60 FPS for nearly every fight, only dipping down to about 50 when there's just a sensory overload going on the screen. Even when all four playable characters are on the screen to hack, punch, kick, and slash their way through waves of enemies, you rarely notice a drop in the frame rate, which quite frankly puts a lot of other developers to shame who are unable to even reach 30 FPS without constant drops. As I said before, the game consists of 4 playable characters, each with their own styles, weapons, and abilities. And along with that, this game comes with an extensive customization which allows you to purchase not only costumes, but abilities, weapons, and rings to further enhance the style of each character. The story itself is practically non-existent, being told mostly through comic book styled cutscenes, but for the life of me I couldn't tell you anything that happened. Nothing about this game's story stuck with me afterwards, and I think that may be due to the game's incredibly short length. Onechanbara Z2 Chaos only has a handful of missions in the story mode, and with the story really only being there to justify going from stage to stage, killing all the zombies. The game's climax came so early that I was actually confused after I beat the final boss, due to the fact that it wasn't any harder than any of the other game's earlier bosses. That's not to say that Onechanbara won't keep you entertained. What with a scoring system that rewards you for your score after every major battle, a quest system that rewards you for doing certain things, and a mission mode that tasks you to kill enemies under certain conditions, there's definitely a reason to keep coming back, even if it's just to reach a higher score in single player missions. If there's one word I'd use to describe Onechanbara Z2 Chaos, that word would be fun. It's a wonky, lighthearted hack and slash game that harkens back to 1970s exploitation films. It knows what it wants to be, and it knows who its target audience is, and it makes no apologies for it. It doesn't attempt to be anything other than exactly what you would expect, and I have to give it major props for that. Once again, Xseed and Marvelous have brought over yet another fantastic game that definitely deserves a place in your library at some point. They continue to show that they have their ear to the ground and love the prospect of bringing over more weird and interesting niche titles, thus showing time and time again why they both have such a loyal fan base. So other than the game's short story, are there any real drawbacks to Onechanbara Z2 Chaos? Yes, but only 2 that I can really think of. First, with the ability to switch between all 4 characters at any point in the game, it really feels like this game was built for a multiplayer component. Whether it be 2-player couch co-op or 4 players online, I think the addition of an online component would really have lengthened this game's lifespan and kept more people to come back. Alas, this game is a single player only experience. The second kind of ties into the first, that I don't believe this game is worth its current price tag. I have a rule when it comes to games. If you can get an hour for every dollar you spend, you made yourself a good purchase, and at the current price point of $50, I can't say that a lot of people would get 50 hours out of it. But if you can wait till this game is about 35 to 40 bucks, definitely go out and pick it up then. If you're a fan of action games like Devil May Cry or Metal Gear Rising, I can definitely say that you'll find a lot to enjoy within the walls of Onechanbara Z2 Chaos. And since I'm required to give these games an old-fashioned review score, I can easily say that Onechanbara Z2 Chaos gets a 3.5 stars out of 5. The game's got a slick and polished gameplay, the visuals serve their purpose, and the game has a ton of replayability, but it's unfortunately dragged down by its incredibly short story mode and lack of any online component. Onechanbara is available now on the PlayStation 4, so once again, my name is Tyler Valle, and thank you all for watching, and if you haven't already, go and check out GamesNosh.com for all your UK-based gaming news. You guys have a great day.